a quick introduction to this week's episode of Nordic Tales and American Trails. In this week, we're sitting down with Robin Tangen, an active hunter from Norway. He uses his Karelian Bear Dog on everything from wild boar to wolverine to brown bears. The sound quality in this week's episode is not that great. We do hope you can have oversight with this. We do feel the conversation is definitely worth sharing anyway. And as you can maybe hear by my voice isn't the best currently right now either. Been running around in sub 20 Celsius here for the last couple of days trying to hunt some wolves. We got 2 wolves so far in the area where I'm hunting, and hopefully we can get a few more in the days to come. Our currently lice quotas is 6 wolves in this area, so we hope that's gonna come to terms. And we are of course gonna have to bring back Robin for a second conversation. Both me and him forgot a lot to talk about. From everything from that Robin has a RV controlled brown bear that he trains his dogs on, and a lot more. But that's for another topic. Let's jump into this one where we're gonna talk a lot of paying dogs and some travels. Stay tuned, share and like the podcast, and take care. And we wish you a good continuation to 2025. Nordic Tales and American Trails is an outdoor and hunting podcast focusing on tales and trails from Northern Europe and the USA, hosted by Erik from Sweden and Adam Wood from Louisiana. The podcast covers all aspects of the outdoors, with a special emphasis of hunting with dogs. We will explore the unique tales and trails of our region, the various dog breeds used in hunting, and the differences in hunting practices between the USA and Northern Europe. So, welcome to this week's episode. I'm sitting down here with Robin from Norway. Robin has an outfitter company in Norway and is an active hunter, and he has some dogs as well. So, welcome to the podcast, man.
Thank you. Finally.
Finally, yeah. I don't even remember how we first met or on social media met in that case, but
I can't remember. It was probably Facebook or Instagram or something.
Yeah, most likely that way. That's how we meet most of our guests, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I met a lot of guys through social media, so...
Yeah, and I think it comes down to, like, if you reach out to someone, the worst thing they can say is not answer or say no, so...
That's true.
So we start off with the hardest question. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, yeah, well, my name is Robin. I'm 30 years old. I have 2 dogs now, one Karelian Bear Dog and one Icelandic Sheepdog. Have a plan on getting a hound, actually. Been hunting basically all my life, I think. We're mostly moose, but now I got this Karelian, so I started more boar hunting, bears and big predators.
Yeah. So you live in what part of Norway?
Not so far from Oslo, maybe 1 hour north.
Yeah.
On the countryside.
So did you grow up in a hunting family, or how did you get into the hunting in the start?
I joined a friend who comes from a hunting family, and I was hooked. So I'm no parents, no grandparents are hunters. So I had to get my dad to hunt because I was so young. So I had to convince him to go moose hunting and stuff so I could join.
Did you
kind
convince him?
of another way around.
Yeah, exactly. Normally it's the father hoping to get a son that's enjoy hunting.
Yeah.
You took the other way approach, forcing your dad to hunt.
Yeah, so I could join him. I was too young to hunt myself, so...
Yeah, so is it the same in Norway that you can hunt with someone from age of 15, or how early can you start in Norway?
You can start small game with another... When you are 14 years old, then you can start small game, and then big game is... I think it's 16 with another and 18 alone, and you can hunt small game when you're 16 alone.
So you can basically get your shotgun when you're 16 and your bolt rifle when you're 18 then?
Yeah, exactly.
So I actually don't know, but how... Is it similar to the Swedish hunting exam, where you have like theoretical and practical tests?
Yeah, we have the shooting tests and so, and we have this theoretic test. You have to go to maybe 3 classes or something, I think. 3 or 4 classes. I don't remember it, so it's long ago, but I think it's the same.
Yep. And when it came to the dogs, you actually had a Karelian Bear Dog?
I have a Karelian Bear Dog now, yes. I had the 2 Jämthuns before.
Okay. So how come you started with Jämthund or Swedish Elkhound?
We I wanted this Norwegian Elkhound, but my father he wanted this Jämthound, so yeah, we just start with that because I wanted a dog to hunt with when I was younger, so I forced him to buy a dog. And then kind of he got hooked, so we got another, one male and one female, mainly for moose, but one of them was actually good on wolverines too. I never tried it. I think the male had one encounter with a bear. I think when we was hunting on the mountainside for moose, there's a lot of bears there, so I think he found one, but I think he switched to moose when he found one.
Yes.
And the youngest one, she got hit by a car when she was 2, so didn't get to hunt her very much.
Okay, yeah, that's sadly part of hunting with dogs
Yeah,
here. And it's the same in the States where obviously cars are a big risk.
yeah,
So compared to Sweden, I'm gonna jump strictly onto this because this intrigues me that you can actually hunt wolverines on a bigger scale. Like both you and me know that we actually opened up a very small quota of wolverines here in Sweden in Jämtland County.
yeah.
But tell me a little bit more about wolverine hunting with the Spitz dogs.
It's pretty easy. We tried with hounds, but when they open their mouth because they want to bark on the tracks, the wolverine gets a really big head start, so they can run like for a day or two, and the dogs would never catch it. So I think it's better with spits because they are silent on the tracks. Where when they approach the wolverine, the dog comes very unexpected on the animal, so it just wants to climb, get a real hard pressure on them. So mostly they want to climb or go down in some rocks, so we can't get it. But uh, we have baits with cameras, so we hunt from that, or we find some tracks in the snow and just let the dogs go.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah, so wolverines and I think lynx and very small brown bears are the only game we have in Sweden and Norway that actually trees. If we
yeah,
if we don't count Capercaillie black grouse, which obviously is a bird and can sit wherever they please.
that's true.
But yeah, so you think it's more useful to hunt wolverines in your experience with Spitz dogs simply because the wolverine doesn't really get that big of a head start?
Yeah, I think Spitz is better because of they don't get the head start. But if you have a hound who is silent on the tracks, that could work too, or a really fast hound, or else they can run for miles and miles.
Yeah. And I know it's not too uncommon for you to have, like, the snow conditions might be more beneficial for the wolverine than it is for the dog, so it's hard to actually catch up to the wolverine if it starts to run for the dog, I
Yeah.
think.
If it's a lot of snow, the Wolverine have every advantage in the snow because they have so big feet, like kind of like a lynx. So it goes like snowshoes. They just walks on top, and the dogs goes under.
Yeah. So then you moved over to Karelian Bear Dog. Is that your first own dog, or?
That's my second own dog, or my third. The first Jämthund we had, it was mine on paper, and the second one, it wasn't mine on paper. It was my dad's, but I took care of them. And but this is my first Karelian Bear Dog. I went like 2 years without a dog and found out that life is kind of sad without one. So I wanted to try something new because the dogs I had, they could stay like for 2 and 3 days on a bay for a moose, and I'm so tired of it.
You mean you didn't want to sit in a car and scroll Facebook like all the Jämthund hunters are doing?
That's true. Yeah. let him go on a Friday, and I pick him up on a Sunday night.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're not gonna dive in too deep to the Swedish Alcan or the Jämtun, but like, especially now with our cell phone GPS trackers, where you basically throughout whole Sweden, Finland, and Norway, you will see where the dog is.
Yeah, now it's kind of more easier. We didn't have this tracker or GPS on the phones back then. We had only Garmin when that came out, but that is maybe 2 kilometers and the dog is gone.
Yeah, but I think sadly, big part of a downside of the mobile GPS are that fact that you can really, really breed on so heavy hunting. Especially, I think it's very open in the Swedish Alcounts, where you like 24 hours baying isn't uncommon. But
Nah, that's true. But I kind of like this Karelian. He doesn't stay. Like I get him home every night.
yep,
So I think I'm gonna go for that. Of course, I like M-Tunes. I like these greyhounds. It's really good dogs, but I'm tired of waiting for him.
yeah. So where did you get the Karelian from? Is it Norwegian or is it from Sweden or Finland?
His parents is from Sweden, imported to Norway, and he is born in Norway. So
Okay.
he's Norwegian, but his
Yep.
Finnish lines.
Yep. So you also hunt brown bears a fair bit in Sweden?
Yeah, I do not a lot, but as long as I can, as much as I can in Sweden. Maybe it maybe last about 1 to 2 weeks, and then the quota is done. But I moved from uh, can we call it a county? County
Yeah,
for county.
I think I've figured out county is probably the closest term we have.
Yeah, I always start further south and move north, following the quota.
Yeah, like a lot of our brown bear hunters are actually doing.
Yeah,
That's basically you start in the county of Dalarna or Gävleborg, and then
yeah,
you basically move further north in Sweden until all the quotas are done. And I hunt the south part of Dalarna as well, and I mean, 48 to 72 hours, and that quota is gonna be gone 9 times of 10, or like 9 of 10 years, it's gonna be over within 2 3 days.
yeah.
So, how did you get into brown bear hunting in Sweden?
Oh, I always had this fascination about bears, black bears, brown bears, polar bears, and I was hunting a lot of boars without dogs before. And some guy called me. I wanted to join one time. Asked me, can I join you for this bait hunting? We don't have boars here. Back then I was hunting down south in Skåne and selling some hunts for this guy, kinda outfitter in down south of Sweden. And he was asking me if he could join and everything, and we just talked. And I talked about the M-tunes. He had some Swedish white accounts, and we talked about that. And he said his dog was good, or his old dog was good on bears. And I just, yeah, but you hunt bears? Yeah, can I join? So he said, yeah, sure, if I can join boar hunting. So we just switched some hunts. And then I saw my first bear. Like, I've seen bears before, but not this close and open. So I was immediately hooked to see this amazing creature just past me with some dogs behind it. So
Yeah,
after that, I was just hooked and I wanted to go all in for it.
yeah. So you were talking about selling hunts. So you actually run an outfitter company in Norway?
I didn't do that then. I was just down there hunting one time, and this guy asked me if I wanted to be kind of like an ambassador. If I got him hunters, I could join for free. So I said, yeah, of course, I would love that. So that's where it all started. And then for 2 years ago, I started my own kind of outfitting company here in Norway, selling hunts to mostly Sweden, but USA and Canada as well.
Yeah. So was that like a long time goal to get into work with hunting, or was it just like a byproduct of trading and swapping hunts with people?
I think it was more like this byproduct of selling, switching, trading hunts. But I also always wanted to, do something with this hunting, maybe make a living out of it. I can't now because it's not so many people who buys hunting trips to the States or Canada because of the course we have now.
Yeah,
Uh,
both Swedish and Norwegian crown is not very strong compared to the American dollar
no,
currently.
it's really bad now.
So it's definitely makes it a lot more expensive to go over.
Yeah, and but it was some guy on Finn, like Craigslist, who wanted to sell his outfitting company, and I just hit him up with a message, and I'm like, yeah, I wanted to buy it, I want to try, and so it's kind of like that how it happened, nothing bigger than that, but it was nice to try, and I'm still trying, and he gave me the chance to move his company forward.
Yep. So you sell hunts to Canada, I know, or
Yeah.
you wanna share some stories from some Canada hunts?
I only been on one. Was this bait hunt, so it was nothing too crazy. Just
Yeah,
sitting in a tree stand, watch some bears come in.
yeah,
But I talked to a lot of guys in the States. I have one outfitter in Maine and one in Arizona. I talked to a lot. Man, I'm gonna go one day.
yeah. And I
I
mean,
was hoping.
hopefully both you and me get over next year.
Hopefully, we get over in December to see
Yeah,
some black bears.
yeah. That's the idea. We're gonna go over hopefully hunts with both some spits and some hounds, and we're also both gonna hit up some Nashville. We think should be some good country music and some good drinks.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, that would be amazing. So when you hunt brown bears in Sweden, do you use your own spits like the Karelian, or do you use hounds, or do you do a mix of both?
We do a mix of both. I try to use mine as much as I can. We haven't had any so much luck with him. He when he find one, he do a great job. But the heat, it's so warm in August when we start hunting, and his fur is not meant for that climate. So the hounds will do better in August. But some chilly days, some rainy days, if he find a bear, he baits it. He's doing it. I won't say it's the greatest dog I've seen on bears, but it's doing a-okay.
Yeah, so normally for our bear season opening here, which is 21st of August, like it's not uncommon that we hit Fahrenheit towards like 60s, 70s, which would be
Yeah,
like around 20 Celsius. And well, most of our Spitz breeds, both the Lycas and the Norwegian Alcounts and the Swedish Alcounts, like they're very furry dog breeds. They prefer the cold over the heat. So a lot of people think, and I think I feel the same way, is that especially some of the hounds that is currently in Scandinavia from America does outperform when it comes to managing the heat. Now I know like Adam runs Lycas down in South Louisiana, and also Alex Kurachev, who I hunted with in Tennessee and Virginia on my trip, like their Spitz dogs over there has a lot less furs than our dogs have, simply because they never have the winter, so they don't really go into the winter coats that our dogs tends to have a lot more of.
okay.
So that was very interesting to see that, like, I mean, Alex dogs in winter coat had less fur than mine has during summer.
Really?
Yeah, like they were so like the amount of fur was so low because I assume they never really developed the trait of keep adding fur.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so the hounds really have a head start there in August, but sometimes in Jämtlands County they open the bear quota 1st of October again. Then I think it's better to use Spitz then because it's not so warm anymore. But we start early in the day when it's still dark, we can't let them go before 1 hour before sunrise, I think it is.
Yep.
So we just start to go tracking, driving cars, look for tracks in the road. We can't use cars when we started the hunt, so we have to park them all. So we have to walk by foot. So
Yeah.
we start early in the day, but around 9 or 10 in the morning, 11, it's too hot for the dogs. We have we don't have as much time during the day.
No, I mean most of the time, like you start tracking maybe 2, 3 a.m. in the middle of the pitch black night,
Yeah,
trying to look for signs or if you have a picture of something. And as Robin says, like we can't use any sort of vehicle to help the hunt. So a lot of the time you might even walk a dirt road with a hound, trying to see if you can find a fresh scent that you don't. Like a bear can easily move over a gravel road without leaving a footprint.
yeah. Look for
So
poop.
so compared to like the normal American way of using strike dogs on a pickup truck, like we're so far away from that style of hunting. And we can also, as we talked about in previous episodes, we can only use 2 dogs. And I think, was it last year they added so we can't swap dogs anymore? Or was it 2 years
Yeah,
ago?
we can't swap dogs during a hunt, so you can't take away one who's tired and let it go on a new one. You have to start a new hunt. So it's kind of strict rules. No vehicles, no swapping dogs, only 2 dogs. It's kind of strict.
Yeah. And I think the reasoning behind this is like, what do you want to call it? Like ethical reasons for the bear itself to like, that you can't swap out 2 tired dogs and add fresh dogs to a tired bear. I think that's the reasoning behind it. But I
Yeah,
think a downside from it is that I know a lot of people before could start the English term or the American term would be like a finished dog, and a starter dog. So like you had a younger dog getting the experience, and if the young dog then backed off because maybe it was an angry brown bear, then you could actually add a new dog to it, so you didn't stand there with a solo dog. I think that's one of the bigger downsides that we can't really. You can't. It's. I feel it's a bit trickier to start young dogs now because you can't really add, if you want to follow the laws to the letter, you can't really add on a new one if it backs down.
yeah. Only time we can do that is when we have wounded a bear.
Yep.
Then we can use vehicles. We can add more dogs just to get it down.
Yeah, me and Jeremiah talked about that in the last 2 episodes. Like, as soon as we have a wounded animal in Sweden, I think it's the same in Norway though.
Yeah, it's the same in Norway, but we don't have this kind of bear hunts
Yeah,
you guys have in Sweden. We maybe have 1 or 2, 3 in entire Norway. So
yeah, yeah.
we
But like
basically don't have any bear hunts here.
as soon as a game is wounded, even if it's a moose or a brown bear, like then it's like all bets are off. The only goal then is to as fast as possible end the suffering of the animal,
Yeah, get it down as quickly as you can.
both for like animal ethical point of view and for dog safety and all that. So
And humans.
and humans for that matter. Yeah,
Was one bear down in Värmland. Somebody shot it because it was so close to a big town called Charlottenberg. It's a really, not so big, but a lot of people there. So they had a really hard time to get it before it went to town.
yeah. So I also know. Let's see if I get this correct. Left side of you, in front of you, you have a mounted wolf.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah. Where did you get the wolf, and can you share the story of the hunt? Paragraph
Our,
28.
yeah,
So then we
we
have to
were.
explain. Then we have to explain paragraph 28 for our American listeners.
We were actually hunting boars, and I let my dog go. I saw some tracks in the snow, but I think it's maybe a moose or something. I didn't think any more much about it. I let my dog go, and he got a bay up for maybe 2 minutes, I think. And it started running. So I thought, I said to my friend, oh, no, nice, he found some boars and he's chasing them right to your friend, so we get to shoot a boar now. And I heard a big bang. So it's like, yes, finally we got some boars now. And I heard another bang. Okay, either we get one big one or two. And we went there, and there was a wolf. He said, yeah, it was after your dog was after it, and they stopped in front of me, and the wolf tried to get him. So basically, paragraph 28 is when a wolf attacks your dog or what can we say,
Livestock.
livestock, you can shoot it. Same with bears. Paragraph 28, you can shoot the animal who is charging your animals. So that was he did. That what he did.
Yeah. So basically, it's legal for us to protect our livestock if it's always a dog or a sheep or a cow from any predators, and that's what paragraph 28 means. And it's something that here in the middle of Sweden and parts of Norway, like it's something you always talk about in the morning meetup on a hunt, like that everyone should be comfortable using paragraph 28 to protect our dogs. And sadly, I think it's getting more and more common that we need to use it.
Yeah, especially in Sweden now, you guys starting to have a real problem.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit out of hand in some counties here.
Yeah. Well, I have a big wolf pack outside my door, but I think it's more common for wolves in Sweden to attack dogs than Norway. Yet, I think it was 2 dogs who have been killed by wolves now in Norway, but I think it's more in Sweden because when a wolves first start to chase dogs and killing them, they will never stop.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, I know you've been hunting a fair bit of wild boar with your Karelian this season.
Yeah,
Any
tried.
fun stories to share? Any thickets you crawled through?
Yeah, I was in one. It was, I think that boar is 130, 20 or 30 kilos, a really big one. I was sneaking into it, and it was my dog and a gray elk hound actually was chasing it. They separated, but come for 2 groups, and then come back to this one big one and chase it together into a really thick area. And I was the closest, so I tried to sneak in, but I was sneaking into the dogs because I thought they were on each side of the boar. So I was trying to get in the middle, and then the dogs kind of went back on my side, and I'm like, okay, and starting to bark against me. I'm like, okay, so he's there now, and I turned. They were on the right side. I was on my stomach because it was so thick. So I was crawling on in the ground, and I looked left, and I saw the boar maybe half of 50 centimeters away from me. I'm like, fuck! I was screaming. I'm like, no! I couldn't get my gun to the left, and he was just running past me, maybe on 1 meter, and the dogs will follow after him. He's still alive, so we can get him. But
Yeah, he got
that
away.
that was close.
Yeah, so 130 kilos is 280, 290 pounds, so a very good
It was a
size
big one.
wild boar. Yeah.
It was a big one.
Yeah, I've had some of those cases where you're like, I even had with my oldest Russian European Laika. He bayed up a really big male boar in one of those spruce thickets where you basically see half a yard in front of you, if you're lucky. And I kept crawling and crawling and crawling, trying to get an opening. I either saw the boar or I saw the dog. I never saw them at the same time, so I didn't really want to take a chance. Obviously, you want to be sure that the dog isn't behind the boar when you take a shot. And I even called ahead on the hunting radio, like, oh, shooters on this stance, you need to be ready now. And you see on the Garmin, it goes towards it, like 200 meters, 100 meters, 50 meters, and like, oh, it's gonna say bang now. And nothing, it goes over the road, past the shooter, and like, okay, nothing happened. And then I hear on radio, like, I call asking, like, did you not see the boar? Oh yeah, I saw the boar. Like, okay, why didn't you shoot? I was so big, I wasn't sure if it was a moose calf or a boar. And once I was sure it was a boar, well, the opening was already gone. And I mean, especially here, and I think it's the same in some places, like those really big wild boars, the males mainly are the first boars to appear in an area. So like, if you're hunting an area where there's normally not that many boars, like, if you find a boar, it's probably gonna be a bigger male. That's my experience, at least.
If it's only one there, yeah, it's
Yep.
probably gonna be a big male. Yeah, they like to keep them for themselves.
Yeah.
At least these big males, they want to be alone, I think.
Yeah,
Or
and it feels.
everybody just avoiding them.
Yeah, and I think realistically we should probably try to avoid them as well. But
Yeah. Yeah, but they're fun.
yeah, definitely. When it sounds like a war tank or a car driving through the thickets when you bump them.
We tried some dogs last December on that was when I saw the tracks in the snow. I was sure this is a moose. I'm 100% this is a moose. But okay, well, let's go. And since it was so big, we let two dogs go. Mine first, we can just find it, take him up, maybe 200 meters away from where we were, and then we let the other dog go. And it went past another shooter, and she said he ran past me, and we were like, "Why didn't you shoot?" It was I couldn't run towards him, but it was too far. But he was so freaking big. I was he couldn't fit in my door. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So we couldn't get the he either because the big male boars they want to run all day,
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, and I mean, like, they get big and old for a reason as well.
They get big and old for a reason. So that's sad to be with the big boars. They just run.
Yeah, and I personally don't feel like I'm more worried if you find like a 60 to 80 kilos, like medium size male boar for the dog safety, because they're still so quick and agile. Like those big really tanks, like 250 pounds plus, like they just run straight. Like they're not that fast when it comes to like attacking a dog.
No, it's much more dangerous for it is 70, 80 kilos for the dogs and you as well.
Yeah.
Like 60 kilos as well. They just want to charge the dogs all the time.
Yeah.
Same with bears, smaller bears. They just want to attack dogs all day. But the big ones, they're so safe in themselves. So they just stand there and thinking, okay, what are you gonna do to me?
Yeah.
I'm the king here, so.
So have you actually managed to get any brown bears for your own dog?
Yeah, first year we got one. We were out moose hunting, but we still had bears on the quota. That was the first year he was loose, actually. And I had a problem because he managed to kill his own caperkillie. So I had a little problem with, getting him off the birds because he wanted to kill another one. And one day I just turned him loose. The wind was right, and he got a little bay up, but he just started running. And I'm like, okay, this is not a bird. In that case, it's really fast. And it ran past a shooter, and he shot it. And nobody said anything to me. They just said, yeah, it's down. I thought it was a moose. I'm like, oh, I'm so happy. The first moose for my dog. And I got over there, and in the ditch it was a brown bear. So I was like, oh my god. I'm really, because I don't want to turn dogs loose before they're 1 year old, and on bears I want to wait till they are 2 years because I only use one at a time. but he just wanted. He's been very special in his life. He's turning 5 now, so he's not so old, but he really loves bears. He loves boars and wolverines. So he just wanted to chase a bear for himself, so by himself, I mean. So, and after that, I just okay, but then we try 100% bears. Of course, I use him on loose boars, everything, but I think he really loves bears because I'm I'm training him a lot these days for bears. I seen him switch away from moose tracks to bears. I was north in Norway this fall hunting moose. We only found bear tracks, and no moose tracks at all. Then we found one. I turned him loose on that moose track, so he maybe went maybe 4 kilometers away, and he got the bay up and was standing. I'm like, oh, nice, it's a big bull. I hope. So now I can get one big one because we knew we had one in the area. But when I got there, it was a bear. But we can't shoot it in Norway, so I just had to watch it.
Yeah.
Sadly.
So when it comes to Norway with the brown bears, do you have a license quota, or is it just to protect basically reindeer and sheep?
Mostly sheep. We don't have these reindeers. We have 3 reindeers. Mostly sheep. But we have some quotas. I think we had 2 or no, we had 3 where I hunt wolverines. I think, but it's hard to get them. I had one bear there one time when I was hunting wolverines, but it just ran over the mountain, so I couldn't get it. It's really big areas there, but we don't have much. Maybe 3 or 4 in the entire Norway. It depends.
Yeah. So with the Wolverine, is it quotas on those as well, or how is that managed?
That's a quota, yes. Kind of like you have on moose in your hunting club, but we have each county has its own quota, right? So I think we had 20 this where the county I'm hunting in is kind of big as Jämtland. So we had 20 we can hunt there, and the same as bears, it's first one to get them all.
Yep. Is it the same that you call basically you call fish and game? Not that it called that in Swedish or Norwegian.
Yeah, we have kind of the same thing. So when we shoot one, we call fish and game and tell them, yeah, we shot it, it's here, okay. And no, we don't have to like the bears. We don't have to show them or anything. We just have to call and it's okay.
Yeah. So you mind so if you shoot the brown bear in Sweden, you can tell this story better than me, I think. So what do you actually have to do with a brown bear after you shoot it?
After you shoot it, you have to call this fish and game in Sweden and tell them, yeah, your name, you have shot a bear, or if you're shooting a bear who's still running, call them. You shot a bear. Then they're gonna ask if it's a male, female, and you say what gender it is, and you have to give the location, like the coordinates on the GPS, and then you have to take it to the fish and game, who is in some central area. You have to show them the bear. They're gonna take out its guts and everything, take some tests from the teeth and everything, measure it, measure the paws, measure his head, and it's a guy with a computer. You have to fill in some form, so it's kind of strict. And then you get it home. You get this metal chip you're gonna have in the skull if you're gonna mount it, and you get this tag in the skin. So if you can take it to like in Norway, so I got this tag and everything, so I could take it across the border.
So is it tricky for you to cross Sweden-Norway border when it comes to like with dogs and guns? I know what the rules are to bring a dog into Norway, but I think it's easier for you to come here.
Yeah, the problem is when I'm going back with the dogs. That's why I need this kind of pill, warm pill for them, because you have this Benlorm kind of thing. We don't have it in Norway, they
Yet.
say, but yet. But so we to go to Sweden is no problem with the dogs. It's when we're supposed to go back. The guns is kind of easy. I have this weapon passport. That's for Norway, but I just go into Tullverket, like the toll,
Yeah, border
just fill border
police or
control.
border control.
Yeah, and just fill in a form on my phone or computer, anything, and it's okay. I can just drive.
Yep.
I don't need to stop into the border control. I can just drive, and if they stop me, I have to show my passport, weapon passport, my papers for getting the gun in Sweden, and passport for the dogs.
Yep.
So it sounds more difficult than it is. It takes me maybe 2 minutes to fill out the form, so then I'm good to go.
Yep. So I know in some areas of Norway you have to do like a sheep test with the dog, so you know that your dog doesn't hunt sheep. Have you done that?
Some no, I haven't done it. I know he's not interested in them. And if he is, when he was young, he doesn't kill them. He just want to chase them. But of course, that's as much dangerous for the sheep because they die from running. But some places you have to do it, like further northwest, I think, northeast. I mean, you have to have this sheep control test or what's it called? Yeah, but not everywhere. Only where they have a lot of sheep, or else you can't turn them loose because if they kill sheep or run them down, you can get a really big fine.
Yeah, so basically in some parts of Norway you have free ranging sheep, mainly up in the mountains, all right? I think.
Mainly up in the mountains, a little bit further north. Yeah,
Yeah. And to hunt in those
nothing down
areas.
here.
Yeah. And to hunt in those areas you like need a paper that proves that your dog doesn't care about sheep.
Yeah, then you have to go to this kind of trainer who have this special course, and what you do is you turn the dogs loose on a sheep, and you have this electric collar on him, so the guy just shocking him if he's running towards the sheep. So he shock him against the sheep, and he does that as long as it takes for the dog to not, don't want to go near them
Care.
again.
Yep.
Yeah. And when they finish that, he writes this paper and okay, we're good to go. I never done it because he's not. When I turn him loose, he's not interested in anything like that. Not cows, not sheep, not roe deers, only moose
Yeah,
and
and I think that's a
boars.
big benefit for the Spitz breed is that we have hunted them so long on our wild game. Like they have a big drive when it comes to hunting, but like there's breeding is very good to be focused on the correct game, I think.
That's true. That's true. Of course, I have some friends who they don't love reindeers and sheep, but I'm lucky with mine. He's not so interested in them. At least when I turn him loose, he understands. Okay, this is not the right thing.
Yep. Do you free cast for wolverine anything, or is it more similar to like brown bears where you find a track or a fresh picture and you like put the dog on the track?
I try as much as I can to put him on a track because if I turn him loose, we have a lot of free range reindeers up in the mountains there, and it's a lot of moose, it's a lot of badger, foxes. We have some bears, and lynx is a lot of there. So he can easily make a mistake by hunting a marten or find a moose because he's really good with moose there. So I always try and find a wolverine on free range. It's kind of hard.
Yep.
So I always want to find a track. Haven't had a lot of snow this year, so I haven't hunted the wolverine. I done it once now in Sweden in October, but I haven't done anything in Norway now because we didn't have any snow,
Yeah.
and I don't have any cameras or anything up there.
Yeah, I was actually looking to get to you to hunt some wolverines, but we never had good weather or snow for it, so.
Never. When it first comes snow, I was of course working, but when I was off work, then it just melts away, rains away. it's been a real bad winter now. I think it's good, but we can't hunt between Christmas and New Year's. We can't hunt anything in Norway.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some weird rules in Norway that we don't really have here in Sweden.
Yeah, can't do anything.
Yeah. While here everyone is hunting this time of year because people are off work.
Yeah, now everyone's off work, yeah, so I usually just go to Sweden.
Yeah. Speaking of traveling, I know you're going to Poland soonish.
Yeah, I'm going to Poland next year, the 2nd of January. I'm going for a week with a friend. He also have Karelian Bear Dogs. Use them on boars only. So I was there 2 years ago with trade some hunts. He comes here or to Sweden again to hunt some capercaillie, join me on some moose hunts. And then now I'm going back for a week hunting with these Karelians, as we do here. Just let them go free range, but they have a lot of boars, so we're gonna find one and yeah, just have a good time. Maybe go on a driven hunt for a weekend. I think 2 days for a driven hunt. I'm not gonna shoot. It's not for me, but I'm just gonna join him. Maybe do
Yep.
and film some a bit. Just watch.
Yeah. Because from my point of view, I think with Poland and like Southern Europe in general, they're more focused on these bigger driven hunts. While we here, at least in the areas where I think both you and me hunt, we like when it comes to wild boars. Obviously, you have the big driven hunts, but like it's almost a bit more like relaxed to hunt wild boar with a dog compared to like moose hunting. Moose hunting is very strict still, where like you have to be in the team, but
Yeah,
it's not impossible to find good grounds here because everything is private, right? To actually be able to hunt 3, 4, 5 guys with some dogs for wild boar. But it feels like south of Europe, it's more only big driven hunts. And what do they call it? Like when they hunt 2 or 3 days max per year. I don't remember the term for it.
yeah, it is this yeah, I know what you mean, godsjakt.
Yeah.
I don't know the term either, but they have maybe, yeah, like you say, 2 or 3 hunts a year, often maybe one or two,
Yeah.
because it costs insanely a lot of money.
Yep.
Yeah, it's on this big, I won't call it a farm, but
Bigungsjakt? Bivigun? I'm not even gonna try to find how that is pronounced in English.
it's kind of like a big a farm kind of place, and they just feed and like follow theirs, moose, boars, red deers, and they have maybe 1 or 2 hunts a year. It comes about how many people can it be? 50, 60,
Yeah,
up to
50,
90
60
people,
shooters and a
and
lot of dogs.
maybe 30, 30 dogs, and they shoot maybe 100 game a day.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
basically the idea behind this is to sell hunts very expensively, give every shooter a lot of shooting opportunities, and then basically that's the only hunting they do on the whole property for the whole year. So it's like very intense for maybe 2 days, and then there's nothing.
yeah.
And
I do
that's normal
I
in Germany as well, I think.
yeah, I do kinda I go with my dog on some of these hunts, not as big, but we maybe have 20 shooters, 15, 20 shooters, and I just show up with my dog and we hunt boars and stags for 1 to 2 days.
Yep. Yeah, it's
But not
definitely it's at least for me, it's fun if you find those hunts where like not the biggest scale, like we're not talking like the Swedish king is gonna show up kind of
no.
hunters, but like where you still as a dog handler are allowed to shoot. Because I've been on some hunts like that where as a dog handler you're not even allowed to shoot. You're only there to push the game out to the shooters. And that's
They
really not my cup of tea.
they prefer that if you get a bay up, we try to push it to the shooters, but I can shoot it if I want to. But of course, they prefer if we as dog keepers just go and push the animals to the shooters.
Yeah.
But it depends. Like if it's a really good dog work, I try to shoot it myself, just for the dog.
Yeah.
If he
And
does a good job, he needs his prize.
yeah, definitely. And our guest on episode 14, Michael Anderson there, he does a fair bit of those as well. So yeah, it's definitely something it's getting more and more common, I think, in a way. That you try to hunt a little bit less. When it comes to moose, at least in the middle of Sweden, like you just hunt almost every weekend to trying to grind out the last moose of the quotas, so to say. But when it comes to
Yeah.
wild boar, people getting more and more used to, like, you try to give the animals a bit more rest, I think. And I think that's beneficial for the amount of games the property will have.
Yeah, same in Norway. We hunt almost every weekend until the quota is full. Sometimes they take a weekend off because the old guys are tired. They want to sleep. But I only hunt moose maybe 14 days a year.
Yeah.
Then I hunt like four. I drive up to this cabin far north, and stays there and hunt every day for 14 days, and then we're off to next year.
Do you? Is it like without roads, so you have to carry it out? Like, are we talking full mountain hunts or?
Up there is one road to the cabin, and that's it.
Yeah. So if you
And
shoot anything, you have to pack it out with
then we
bags.
have these 4-wheelers,
Yep.
6-wheelers, and some of these belt machines, so we can get it out. I know some guys they use a helicopter to get in and get out and get the mooses out. So it's a bit more job, yeah. Same as where I hunt wolverines. It's one way up and one way down.
Yeah.
So if the dog is on the mountain with the wolverine, we have to use our legs.
Yeah, and that feeling though, like when you was across the was across this hill and you keep going and keep going. I think that's a big part of why we hunt the way we do with our kind of dogs, which is also why I think you moved off the Swedish elk hound then, because if you hunt an area like that, if you have a dog that stays for 20, 30 hours,
Oh god,
that that can be far into the mountains with no way to
that,
access the dog.
that can be far. Yeah, I what's it called? National park.
Yep.
It's a national park. Yeah, I hunt when I hunt moose. It's a national park, so it's nothing there. No roads, nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good pack out, or if we can't get the 4-wheeler out there, we have to drag it out.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, you wanna sweat and you wanna be tired. That's part of the whole experience, though.
That's the part of it. It's really good to get in the cabin, take a cold beer, and feel, oh, I'm tired. We have a successful day. Everybody's tired. Have a cold beer, and it's nighttime.
Yeah, and maybe some sauna before sleep.
And maybe some sauna. We don't have it, but it's sure
Ah,
good to have
you
some.
need to build a sauna then.
Yeah, I asked them, can we please do it? It's so nice when the snow comes early up there. Oh, it's so nice.
Yeah. So with that said, you have anything else you wanna add on?
I think we get it all.
Yeah. So we're just gonna. Remembered it now. You said you were gonna probably look at getting a hound as next dog. What hound are you looking
Yeah.
at, and why are you swapping to hound compared to getting another Karelian?
Uh, hounds are better track dogs for at least bears. And it's starting to get harder to get moose hunts, boar hunts. And if I get a hound, it's you can always hunt fox everywhere, right? So mainly it's because of fox. I have this red thread, so I gonna try to have him on some bears, lynx. A lot of people rather want you to come with a hound on lynx hunts because it's more fun for everybody because he's barking on the tracks, and if you let the spits go, they know okay, the dog keeper is gonna shoot the lynx, so we don't need to be here. And these better tracks, the track dogs. Because with my Karelian, he fucked up some 2 bears this year where he couldn't find them. I don't know how he could not because some days he just he can go for miles and miles tracking, and now he just no didn't couldn't find it. But I know a hound is more cold nosed, so and easier to get hunts with foxes. That's mainly why this is my third Spitz, and I want to try something new
Yep.
as well. I'm looking for a Treeing Walker Coonhound, mostly because I think they are cool. I shot my first brown bear for a walker and a plot mix, and I hunted some wolverines with it. I just think they are cool dogs. I wanted a plot before, but they are mainly for boars and bears. They are not as good fox dogs. They're mainly for big game. And since boar hunting is harder to come by because of wolves and everything, so I want a kind of more all-around dog, and I think a walker is doing just fine with that. And I want this American breed because they are better at bay ups than our Nordic breeds. They just want to chase, and if a bear stops, they usually turn around because they are not bred for these bay up situations, only chasing.
Yeah, and I think it comes to like the Scandinavian hound breeds has basically been used for hare and red fox. So never an animal that will confront the dog that chase it.
True.
If you
And
compare that to, I mean, black bears normally trees, right? But some of them will still face the hound that's chasing them.
Yeah, true. And I talked to a lot of Canadians and a lot of guys from the States. A lot of them have these mixed dogs, but they always want to mix a walker into some of the other breeds. And I think, okay, if everybody wants to mix a walker, then it's something with them. So yeah, I just want to try. And I like the dogs I hunted with. I like the plots as well, but it's mainly I can't have a pure bear dog for like 1 or 2 weeks. It's gonna drive me insane.
Yeah. And I mean, it's tricky that when it comes to the brown bear season here is like, if you have a dog only for that, like, there's gonna be a very, very short hunting season for the dog as well.
Yeah, and plots they're gonna drive me insane if they
Uh,
don't get the energy out.
are you saying a plot isn't the smartest dog?
I won't say it's yeah I won't say it's smart. No, I can't say that. I hunted some lynx with a plot and one East Siberian Leica. And the one dog had all bite marks, claw marks in him from the lynx, and it was not a Leica.
Yeah. I think the American says a gritty dog is a good plot hound, I think. So, yeah. They're definitely
Yeah,
gritty, a bit more gritty than what we need here, I think, in general. I know some people
yeah,
that run wild boars with them as well, and they tend to have a fairly steep veterinary bill at the end of the season.
they have. Of course, they are good bear dogs. They are tough. They are brave or stupid. I don't know, but they are tough dogs. They don't back away if they got bitten or anything. But if they try to bite a bear here, these bears don't climb. They will
Yeah,
just start and fight back, and a plot against a 200-kilo bear is an easy match for the bear.
yeah. Yeah, and I think it comes down to that we can only use one or two dogs as
Yeah,
well. Like, yeah, which means that like most, even the very, very dedicated bear hound guys here don't have that many dogs if we compare to America where you might have like 20 hounds.
yeah,
Because you maybe have 2, 3 max. In my experience, that's like the hunting age, let's say from age 2 to 6 maybe. Like not many guys here has that many dogs in general. Like someone here with more than 5 dogs has a lot of dogs in my experience.
yeah. I like to have two. That's okay for me.
Yep.
I don't need more.
So do you hunt anything with the Icelandic sheepdog, or is it just a pet dog?
No, he's just couch dog.
Couch
Just
dog?
Yeah, just lies on the couch.
Do you count that as a dog then, or are you gonna go for 2 hunting dogs and then a couch dog?
I'm gonna go for 2 hunting dogs. I'm gonna have my Karelian, of course, and I'm trying to get this Walker.
Yep.
I was like I said to you, I really want to look at these Catahoula leopard hounds. They look
Yep.
so cool. I think they are good for boars as well, because I don't want to use this Walker for boars, only predators. But when the Karelian is gone, we'll see what's next.
Yeah.
Maybe a plot, maybe a leopard hound. I don't know.
Yeah.
Future will tell. Future will tell.
Yeah.
With that said, if you have nothing else to add, thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
And from us, we wish you a happy New Year's to both
Yeah.
you, Robin, and all our listeners.